Alright, welcome back to Spy X Family Anime Review, episode 24. Some people, I've had this one before when I did One Piece, like, oh, you're gonna get the one arc, even though I was already reviewing it. It's the amount of episodes for the series, not what episode I'm on. Sometimes some series where I basically do start with the first episode, it very rarely ever happens because a lot of the time the series is already airing. Like, I may start basically just bench watching 2, 3 episodes at most, and then do a review for it. If it's just one episode and it doesn't match the episode I'm reviewing, it's not because I'm on that particular episode of the series, it's the review series itself. I have to explain that because it's here that people get confused. Alright, we're here reviewing episode 34 for the series. Yep, 34. Which is called The Hand That Connects the Future. And this is chapters 54 and 55 of the manga. Now, this is kind of the end of the cruise ship arc. Next episode, and of course the episode chapters that from, are the aftermath of this arc. Which is fine. Because I should also point something interesting out, though. I found this at Wiki site. Apparently, we have only 3 more episodes left to go for this whole season. Yep, 3 more. And that's it. Like, wow, 3. That's a bit surprising, but it's fine. So what happens this episode? Well, we have a few different things going on here. Let's start with, well, Anya, which her stuff connects with stuff Yor's doing, where after the fireworks, she's wondering, where's Mama? Like, oh, of course they're like, oh, and they got all this stuff going on, and supposedly there's a bomb on board. So Lloyd goes through with that, and Annie supposedly gets dropped at the kids' room. Like, okay, it's not a bad idea to drop her off there, though she sneaks out and finds one of yours spikes, throws them up, and apparently, inadvertently, she causes the death of 2 people. No, seriously. Yes, one by slipping on via gunfire, and then, of course, hitting his head, supposedly killing him. Now, unintentionally, she just murdered 2 guys. Yes, a little girl killed 2 guys. It's like, oh yeah, and then, of course, and you have your, like, gunfire. What the heck? He's like, oh, my weapon's over there. He has you think, like, my weapon. And, of course, while battling the katana guy, takes him out and gets her spike back. The leader disappears. And after like, oh yeah, that's it. I was like, oh, time to go back to the room. And then, of course, Anya basically unintentionally runs into the leader of the assassins. Which I just noticed basically his voice actor. That's Ian St. Clair. And the informant is Eric Vale. I'm like, okay, interesting. Yeah, basically listen to the voice like, yeah, that's Eric Vale voicing the informant. And Ian St. Clair voicing, of course, this leader guy. You're like, oh crap, it's a bad guy. He's like, what'd you say to me? And then, of course, basically like, oh, he must have rigged up a bomb in the clock. Yes, because the informant placed bombs all over this cruise ship. So Anya, trying to do a very disguisey way, just puts on a veil and sunglasses, puts on like a piece of cloth and sunglasses, disguises herself as somebody else. Like, oh, there's a booger, like, oh, and then oh crap, it's a bomb. And of course, Lloyd's already defused 2 bombs and informed, oh crap, there's actually one on that deck. So then, of course, after he deals with that, he also basically throws the thing overboard. Now, the leader of the assassins finds the informant and fights him. Then the bomb goes off, and they knock off the boat. They continue fighting, and then sharks show up, presumably to eat them. Yep, presumably to eat them. Lloyd's like, okay, and of course, he was like, oh, have the SS basically take care of the bombs and put a high caution up. It's like, okay. Yeah. Now, he's under disguise, of course. Anya, of course, like, well, runs into the thing like, oh, go to the bathroom, and then Lloyd finds her, she's already asleep, takes her back to the room. Meanwhile, after Ymir speaks the assassins, she wondered, like, where's the director? Where's, basically, McMahon? So, he's already disposed of all the bodies, and Then of course, like, oh, the forgers request your presence at the port of call, and well, and of course, basically cover up the wounds, swelling your face, and cover that wound in your chest. Like, oh, I won't be wearing a swimsuit, probably not for a while. And then she proceeds to put on like plain clothes, and well, that wraps the episode. Basically, and the crew is right there. Excellent episode. And I love this arc. It's not very long per se. No, not really. That's the interesting thing when it comes to this arc. It is not very long. If you're really curious. Because next week is going to be the official end of this arc. Excuse me. How long was this arc? In actuality, the arc itself is like about 7 episodes. Yeah, it's not that long per se. Not really, no. I mean, it feels like a big arc because of the stakes. But it's really fun, and the anime did it really quickly for an arc that was roughly about 15 chapters plus a short mission. Yeah, 15 chapters plus a short mission, and then Wise is going to be in the very next arc of the series. That'll be starting out in episode 36. That one is really short. Now, if you're curious about the arcs that come right after this one, I think I mentioned it before, like, Wise is the 4th the most recent arc of the whole series. This current arc that just about to wrap up here, this is the 5th the most recent arc of the series. Of the manga, of course. Yeah, this one is like 4 arcs left. And if you're curious, how long are these arcs? Wise is 6 chapters. Friendship Schemes, which is the following one. This is 5 chapters. Red Circus is 10 chapters. This actually is the most recent arc. And then you have Mohunt, which is 12 chapters. Now you might be asking, okay, out of this whole series so far, since the series has been released and aired, what is the longest arc of the whole series? Well, the shortest arc is obviously the opening arc, which is like 2 chapters, and the actual arc in the anime is 2 episodes. And of course, from that point forward, it's usually pretty average length. Like, the next arc afterwards, like, Admissions Interview, 4 chapters, 3 episodes. Eden Beginnings, 4 chapters, 2 episodes. Secret Police, 4 chapters, 2 episodes. Stella Star arc, approximately about 6 chapters. Well, a main story per se, it's like 3 chapters, 2 short missions, and extra mission. Adapted for 3 episodes. Really short arc this one was. Yeah, they included some other ones basically because they take place during it. Doggy Crisis, 6 chapters, and this was also the arc that started out the second half of season 1. Midterm Exams. This is roughly about 6 chapters. Spread, of course, about, well, they say 7. It's actually like 5. It's actually 5 chapters and a short mission. And that was the previous arc. It was like 2 previous arcs for this one. And that one was basically 4 episodes. Camden Tennis was 7 chapters plus a short mission. And that was adapted for 5 episodes. Pretty good length. The previous arc for this one, which was the Imperial Scholars Mixers arc. This is roughly 5 chapters plus 2 plus next mission and a short mission. And the actual arc itself for the anime, it is roughly about 6 episodes. Cruise Ship was 15 chapters. Presumably, I think this is the longest arc in the whole series, I believe. So, yes. At 15 chapters, and the anime is 7 episodes. Okay. So, the answer to the question is, what is the longest arc of the whole series? It's Cruise Ship. Yep, Cruise Ship. In terms of chapters and episode count. Yes, at approximately 7 chapters. And I do know that Wise is going to start adapting. But from what I can tell, it seems like they're going to start it, but they're not going to go much further with this one. Not really, no. I think they'll probably continue next season. When, of course, basically we get their season, of course. Yes. Not really much to say about this episode. It's good. But can't wait for the very next episode, which will air next week. And yeah, we have only three episodes left to go, and then we're done. So, at the rate we're right now, I'd say before the year is out, that's when basically we're going to wrap this thing up. Yeah, I think the final episode probably, because let me see here. I'm looking at the calendar. I'm thinking probably the start of next year is when this season finishes up, along with a few other anime. Like, the only one that's actually wrapped up this week is going to be Dr. Stone. Yeah, that's the only one going to be wrapping up. While, of course, One Piece, in case closed, will continue, no problem. Though One Piece take a couple weeks off. So, until this next video, which will be Goblin Slayer. Next video. Bye.